Okay, I think that we are live for day one of the Sugar Detox Challenge. Thank you so much if you're joining me. I know this is a half an hour later than what I said in my event, so I'll go back and change that just due to some conflicts. I had to adjust it slightly, but I'm so excited to be with you. This will stay here recorded, so you'll be able to go back and check it out later. So thank you for joining me, whoever this is. Good morning. I just so you know, I'm on StreamYard and I can't see your let's see. I can't see your name from this side because StreamYard doesn't needs permission. So I may not be able to put the StreamYard link out there right now, but I will get it out there later and we will just go on. I think I'll be able to see people's comments later on. So thank you so much for joining me. I am so excited about this challenge. And so I wanted to start this challenge by saying, did you think this challenge was about quitting cold turkey? I think a lot of people saw this challenge and it was a little bit scary, thinking, this just means like on day one, I have to quit all sugar and change everything. No, that is setting yourself up for failure. And I wouldn't do that to you. So that is not what we are going to do with this. What I do want to do is to show you how and why you can get rebalanced and help yourself detox from the sugar. So that's what we're going to be doing during these days. And it's a work in progress. So thank you for joining me. I'd love your feedback. Also, please invite someone. So if you're finding at the end of this broadcast, if you're finding the content useful, invite someone into the group and to join us for the challenge. And if you are viewing this on YouTube or on a Facebook business page, feel free to join us in the group, which is, if you just search for a group, Conquer Your Sugar Cravings, within Facebook, you should be able to find us. My focus is on helping women, particularly moms, crush the sugar cravings without being a slave to that, without deprivation and extreme restriction, so that they can find their energy and they can have a clear mental mindset so that they can take care of themselves and take care of their families. But really, it's about keeping moms healthy. That's really kind of my focus here, because we tend to put ourselves last, and then the stress and the triggers build up, and we sometimes end up in a not good place. So let's get going. I'm excited. So, have you ever had a big reveal moment or a big aha moment where you suddenly something became just totally clear to you? Where you're like, oh, wait, the problem isn't this, it's actually that. And that's easy to fix. So here is my story of a big aha moment that I had. So shortly after college, I graduated, and after a month or two, I found a real job. So I had like some temporary jobs after college, like a lot of people do. But I landed my first real and permanent job at an insurance company, which was really exciting because I had, like now like a steady big girl paycheck coming in. So I was able to move out of my parents' house into an apartment with a friend. I was able to start paying for my own car, really taking care of myself and being on my own. I was an adult. Woohoo! So exciting, right? It was great until it wasn't. And then I remember after a while thinking how unfulfilling this was. Every day at the same thing, sitting in my little cubicle. Of course, I was in an actuarial division of an insurance company as well, which is also a certain kind of atmosphere. I would just remember sitting in my little cubicle all day, and then I would get into my little box of a car and drive home with everybody else in their little boxes in the traffic. And then I would come home to my apartment, which was also kind of a bunch of little boxes together inside of a big box. And then I would go to my room, which was another little box. And I remember just feeling like, ugh, this adulthood is horrible. Like, I don't want anything to do with being an adult. Like, this is basically my life every day as I just go and I kind of do this thing, this boring thing in my box. And then I come home to my box and I ride on from work to home in my little box, and then you just do this for 40 years and then you retire. Like, what is this is horrible. I remember thinking that being an adult is entirely terrible. I want to go back. This is awful. All of adulthood is terrible. And then someone in the insurance company, in I don't know what part of the insurance company, wanted to type everybody in the actuarial division so that we could work better. We could work better together so we could understand each other's kind of personality types. And at the time, the Myers-Briggs personality indicator was a big thing. I think some people probably still use it. There are a lot of other ones out there now, but they typed the entire actuarial division, all 80 people in the actuarial division. And out of 80 people, there were 2 extroverts. And can you guess who was one of them? It was me. So that was a huge aha moment for me to understand it's not all of adulthood that is the problem. It's really just that I am in the wrong place. And it became really clear to me that just like it lifted, like, okay, this is going to be a lot easier because now I can find the right place for me and I don't have to feel like this anymore. So there is kind of a solution for this. And it did help a lot because now that I could kind of see the picture, I could go and find the job that was right for me. It wasn't the perfect job right away. It was a work in progress. And then sometimes the job shifted and or life shifts and you have to go find something else. But I did find something that was better for me. And it was then life was so much easier. And it wasn't a struggle every day of feeling that like, oh, adulthood is just terrible and everything sort of feels bland and boring and hard and stuck in the same place. And so it really kind of changed everything. And the same was true for me with blood sugar balance because I was having all of these symptoms and I had no idea what they were from. I remember, having issues, skin issues, having trouble with sleep, having a lot of GI issues, feeling tired a lot, kind of mentally foggy all the time. And the cravings were crazy. So just all the time, I felt like I couldn't stay away from, processed carbs and I'm not saying that carbs are a bad thing. This is definitely not a keto group, but I couldn't stay away from the processed carbs. I was hungry all of the time, and so many other issues: acid reflux, aches and pains, sick all the time, having a cold all the time. Anyone relate to that? Yeast overgrowth all the time. So many different things that I just thought, oh well, this is just life, right? This is as an adult you get tired. As an adult, you just this is just what happens. You're sick a lot because you're working. As a parent, this is just what happens. Oh, well. And I never really kind of made the connection. I just thought, okay, this is just how it is, kind of like the job. Like you just do this job for 40 years and then you retire. But then I finally attended a talk on blood sugar balance and it really opened my eyes and I started educating myself more and more on this. And it really made the picture a lot clearer and a lot of light bulbs started going off of this is why I'm constantly stuck in the cravings. This is why I'm feeling this way. This is why I'm tired all the time. This is why I have this particular skin issue. So it all starts with awareness. Now, you might have some hesitations to becoming aware. So you might be thinking, I don't even want to go there because I'm going to have to give up all my favorites. And then I'm never going to be able to, I have to live this monastic lifestyle with sugar and carbs and everything's going to change. Nope. My goal for you is to stay balanced. So there do have to be probably some changes, and there probably is some time that you do have to be away from certain types of things that are skyrocketing your blood sugar while you kind of get back into balance. But my goal is for you to be in control, for you to be in control. And what that means is that you're not constantly craving the sugar and the processed food, but you're also not obsessively fearful about them either. So, for example, if you go out to dinner and you have a nice meal with, let's say you got a great healthy meal with whatever it is, maybe you got a beautiful protein dish and you had some broccoli with that and it had a glaze on it and maybe there was a little bit of sugar in the glaze, that's not going to completely derail you, because if you're staying balanced, you are going to be able to be clear-headed about things, and you're going to be able to get to the point for most people where you can have a little bit, where you can decide, what's right for you, and you can decide how you want to feel. And that's really the goal here, is for you to feel good, for you to have energy, for you to be able to focus on what helps, how food makes you feel and how you want to feel, and not be a slave to the sugar, but also not to be obsessively worried about it as well. So that's kind of the goal. So the first thing is to really understand where you are. And that's really what this day 1 is about. So really what I want this challenge to be about is more of reflection and understanding that you can take with you. And there will be some practice at the end, but not to just jump right into quitting sugar on day 1, because that really is often setting yourself up for failure, as we'll see on the future days. So, the first thing that I want to do is to understand where you are and what your why is. Because sometimes we keep doing the things that we're doing over and over again, and we don't know what is the cause of it. We're just kind of stuck in the cycle of sameness and we can't see it from the outside. So, um, what I want to do first is to talk about some of the signs and symptoms that you might get if you're kind of out of balance. And if you have any of those, and if you might need to kind of get back into balance, and then what would you want to feel like? So that's what we'll talk about in the homework post. But what would you want to feel like? What would you, if you could wave a magic wand, how would you want to be? How would you want to feel? How would you want to think? What do you want from your life? So, things, symptoms that may show that you are out of balance: if you're feeling tired all the time, tired for no reason, if you're feeling low energy, you're constantly getting that afternoon slump, you're restless and can't keep still. Sometimes you sort of get this wired and tired feeling. So you're exhausted, but you also feel restless at the same time. Kind of brain fog, where it's trouble, you have some trouble concentrating or thinking clearly, or just your thinking sort of feels muddled, or you're just kind of tired and also constantly hungry. So if you're feel like you're constantly snacking, constantly looking for food, if you're craving a lot of sweets or if you're craving a lot of processed carbs, sometimes that's a sign too. Oftentimes, many times people get bloating, lots of different GI issues. GI issues can be many things, but sometimes it can be associated with needing to kind of get back into balance as well. Skin issues, a lot of what happens on your gut shows up in your skin as well. Um, so definitely kind of belly fat, things hanging around the midsection. That's where your body puts things when it kind of doesn't know what to do with it, or when you have excess sugar. Also, inflammation and joint pain. So, those are some of the things that you can take a look at and understand. I'll post all of those later so you can see, am I on that list? Is there something that I need to, maybe I need to kind of take a look at things. And also, what would you want to feel if you could wave a magic wand? Would you want to feel great energy, be sleeping great, have less acid reflux, which I think I didn't mention that on the list, but that's one of the things that often people find as well. So that really is the goal for today, is to kind of understand where you are. You may have already been working on this and you're kind of improved a lot, or this may be kind of an aha moment of, oh wow, all of these different things that I thought were separate issues are really tied to the same issue, which is blood sugar balance. So I'd love to know if you're finding that as well. So the way that this challenge will work is that I will be going live every day at 11:30. I will update my event because I think my event's at 11. I'll also plan. You found me. I will also, I can't see the names right now, so I can't say personally hi because of StreamYard, but I think I will be able to see them later on in the group. But, what we will do in this challenge is I will go live every day at 11:30 with a short training or a tip for you, and then there'll be an activity that you can do, as I mentioned at the top. This is not we're not just jumping in and quitting sugar on day 1, because that's a recipe for failure and feeling bad. I wanna teach you how to do it, but also in a way we have busy lives. To just kind of rip everything out and start eating different can be stressful and hard to do. So this is really about understanding where you are, thinking, maybe journaling. I had hoped to be able to have a downloadable journal, but not this go round. Maybe another go round we'll be able to do that. So you'll just check into the training, and then I'll have like a little resource at some point in the day, and then sometime in between today and the next day's training, just check in on the homework post so they know that you're following along. And at the end, there will be some kind of a prize. I haven't decided what yet. I think I have to go back. I might owe a prize for the metabolism challenge as well, but for if you're just participating with us and staying with us along during the training. So that's how this will work during the next 5 days. So I'm excited to see what you find from where you are, if you need to get back into balance, or if you are at the point where you've done a lot of work, and also where do you want to go? What is your goal? So stay tuned, and I will see you tomorrow.